Another chilling tale brought to you by Atoms of Fear. The title of this story, The Neighbor Across the Hall. There was an old apartment building where 12-year-old Marissa lived with her mom, just down the hall from a neighbor no one talked to. They called him Mr. Long. He never smiled, always peered out from his cracked door, and sometimes mumbled to himself close to midnight. One windy afternoon, Marissa's mom came home looking pale and angry, double-bolted their door, and whispered, "Don't talk to Mr. Long, ever." After that, Marissa watched her neighbor more closely. His eyes seemed to follow her everywhere. That night, Marissa was alone while her mom worked the late shift. She tried to read, but Mr. Long started humming from his side of the hall, an off-key creaking tune that made her shiver. She thought she heard footsteps outside her door at 10 o'clock, and her heart thudded. She grabbed her flashlight and checked all the windows, making sure they were locked. The humming stopped, but a soft knock echoed through the silence. Marissa backed away from the door, her hands shaking. She heard whispers, like someone telling a secret right outside. She looked through the peephole. Nothing, but the faint smell of burnt matches drifted in, the same smell she'd noticed coming from Mr. Long's apartment before. She wrote down the time, 11:30, just in case anything happened, and hid under her bed. Shadows stretched longer as silent minutes ticked by. Finally, she heard the elevated ding at midnight. The humming faded away as footsteps retreated. Peeking out, Marissa saw that someone had left a burnt match on her doormat. Her hands were sweaty as she remembered the way Mr. Long always seemed to have sulfur on his coat. She called her mom, but there was no answer. By 2 o'clock, Marissa was sure the danger had passed, until she saw the shadow linger through her window, as if watching from outside. At 3 o'clock in the morning, Marissa's mom raced home and found her daughter still awake, eyes wide. Suddenly, police sirens blared outside. They found Mr. Long dead in his apartment, doors and windows locked tight from inside. The police said he'd been dead since just after 11:30. Marissa realized with a cold chill that whoever had knocked, humming and leaving matches, could not have been Mr. Long. It turned out Mr. Long had passed away just before Marissa heard the footsteps, humming, and the knock at her door. She'd been alone with something else entirely, something that smelled like sulfur and loved to make itself known only in the dark. All those years, maybe Mr. Long hadn't been the danger, but the warning. Marissa and her mom left the apartment the very next week. She never ignored her mother's warnings after that. Sometimes, the scariest thing isn't the neighbor you know, but the danger you can't see. Well, listener, did you enjoy this story?